Okay, well, that's good. Well, look, I have an email that I let you read a while ago. I just got this last night, and this is someone that bought one last week. It said, I just received the Flower of Life last night, charged up some water on it with the water video, and have already experienced significant benefit. I've noticed improvement in a long-standing subtle energy imbalance in my body that has been very painful, and also sprayed the water through the house with a spray bottle, tremendously improving and clearing the energy in the house. I know this is just the beginning, and I'm extremely grateful and looking forward to even greater blessings. How many more are available? I may wish to get another one for the house and a couple for friends. So this is what's happening. We're starting to get repeat orders, and frankly, we're about out. Mm-hmm. And it took 5 years for you to get this many made for me.
That's correct, yes.
So, and the only reason we made them was people were asking for them. They saw them in the Energized Water DVD, and they said, where can I get one? I said, well, I don't have any. I don't think they're available. I don't know when I can get any. And after 5 years, we managed to get some, and they're about gone. But let's give some ideas, and hope where you are now, ideas of what can be done. If you have any more ideas, let me know. I want to throw out one here, because the folks that are writing and saying, what can I do with them, we figured, okay, we're just going to send them to YouTube now. And that's easier than me trying to write everybody a separate mail.
Right.
And besides that, I wanted to introduce you to these folks. They didn't know who you were. I have a friend out in the Midwest that I gave one of these to, very, very good friend. And he said he was always had trouble getting out of bed every morning. Well, a lot of folks have that problem, I guess. So I said, well, slide this thing under your bed tonight and see what happens. Well, he had a meeting, and he'd get up real early the next morning for it. He called and he says, I jumped out of bed full of energy. Mm-hmm. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know what these things will do.
Exactly. Everyone has a different experience.
Do you want to say anything about the any connection with any universal energy or anything like that? I don't know if you do or not. This wasn't rehearsed, folks. We just got together and started talking today while we had someone to film us here.
Right. Well, I guess, Raymond, the thing is that my dad had that intention that this would hook up mm-hmm. to the real one. Our intention is that when we build them now, that his intentions are still good, mm-hmm. that they will. As far as we've had different people, psychic people and people that sort of get some information mm-hmm. and stuff, have said that this thing is definitely hooked up to the universe. Mm-hmm. It definitely will link up mm-hmm. and stuff. So it's I don't know. It's all it's a bit of a mystery.
Well, I am not energy sensitive with my hands, not at all. But in a class last summer, I guess, around a big conference table, I just laid one on the table in front of me. Mm-hmm. Some lady sitting over there said, I'm going to have to back up, or you're going to have to move that thing. She said, I can't concentrate. The energy's putting out so much. Well, folks, the sun came out and was kind of interfering with our picture taking, so we decided we'd move in here on the porch and shade, and it'll work a little bit better. We didn't really know what we could do with this. This was back in '02, and we were just experimenting with it. So we bought some bottles of water, didn't open them or didn't do anything to them except write our initials on the label. And that was 3 of us now, Larry, his dad, and me. And we took those bottles of water and we laid them right on top of this Petal of Flower of Life here. Now, we knew that there was something called surface tension of water. Scientifically stated, surface tension is the amount of pressure required to penetrate 1 centimeter of water. Well, let me give you a hillbilly version of it. It's nothing more than where you've seen a leaf floating on a bucket of water or a puddle of water. The reason that leaf floats is because it does not break the surface tension of the water. Now, if you were to take a bottle of detergent, squirt it in the water under the leaf, the detergent would lower the surface tension of the water, and the leaf would start to sink. Matter of fact, Larry, at the flea trap you had one time, where the fleas were hopping out of a trap and into the water, mm-hmm. you put detergent in the water, and they got in and they couldn't get back out.
Correct.
Okay. That gives you an idea of what surface tension is. Okay, the ideal surface tension of a human body is, what I've been told, around 47 dynes. Dyne is the unit of measurement for surface tension. So we wrote our initials on the water, put it on here, and I don't know what is the on an average the dynes of a bottle of water, upper 70s maybe.
Yes.
I know my spring is 90 because I have a lot of minerals in it, and the harder the water, the higher the surface tension. Okay, so the next morning we start checking this, and we did this with dowsing, and the ideal surface tension for Larry's body was 46 dynes. For his dad it was 45, and for me it was 47. Well, the next morning, whenever we checked these bottles of water, the surface tension in each bottle had been adjusted to the ideal surface tension for whose initials were on the bottle. We knew then that we were dealing with a very high level of intelligence, one which I didn't understand. I knew it worked, I just didn't know why or how it worked. So you have any similar stories on this? I've got more stories of what we did with the water later on. But,
Well, some of the feedback we've been getting, Raymond, is there was a woman, a fairly known psychic, that had said that the flower of life is hooked up to divine love, and that's what it emits a lot. You know, that energy.
And would be maybe another way of saying universal intelligence.
Universal intelligence, yes. We have noticed that the ball, the structure itself, flower of life structure. I don't know whether it's just in our minds, but when we go by it or sit by it on a very quiet and still night, you can hear a very low hum.
Now that's real interesting.
Yes.
That is real interesting.
Yes.
So Larry and I have been working with energy in one form or another for when did we start working together? About '01. So we've been at about 10 years,
Right,
thereabouts. Sometimes we go for long periods of time, don't get to work together much, don't see one another, but while he was down in the States today, thought, well, this is a good time to do this. Okay, I have suspected, but don't know, that this is we know it's an energy structure. Well, an energy structure, by my simple definition, is a device or a physical object into which we place our intent that is then magnified and radiated out to wherever you desire that this intent go. So I have wondered, could a person take a piece of paper, a little card, and write their goal or intent on it and lay on this and have it manifest? Have you had any experience with that?
Not personally, but we have had testimonial letters that have come back. Where a person actually asked for a job, and they wrote it on there, and the company that they wanted to work for, and in less than within a couple of weeks, they did get the job. And there just happened to be an opening, and they knew somebody who knew somebody, and they got it. So we've heard that where people have had this and put pictures of family members or loved ones on it, and with words of love and health and peace and stuff, and their lives have changed. So there's been a lot of very positive.
Well, you've got a lot of testimonials back on these things.
Yes.
A lot of times I get testimonials on things that, wow, this stuff really works. Well, I'm always glad to get them, but they don't really tell you the details. No. Okay. You have anything else you want to add on here?
No, not that I can think of, Raymond.
What about any other possibilities maybe that we haven't talked about? What all could we do here? Because see, we've already proven with our films that we can put an intent in those films and send it out there wherever we want it to go. My friend Ken up in Pennsylvania used the energized water and cleaned up the bad odor and taste in his son's well, and the well was 85 miles away. All he did was play the film with the intent that the energy of the film would go to his son's well. And he cleaned it up overnight. So I'm wondering, could we do something like that with this?
I don't see why.
Put an intent into it. You might want to try it to lower the crime rate in your neighborhood, to work on schools, clean up the energy in your office. That's, after all, that's really what I did to your swimming pool. And I really didn't know what I was doing. I just didn't know it couldn't be done. But what we did there, we just said we want the energy of the flower of life put in the swimming pool. Well, it worked. So then, if we did that, why can't we put the energy of the flower of life in any other body of water out there, or any other environment?
Right. I don't see why not.
Well, I don't either. I never thought about it till right now.
No.
It's amazing how we get smarter when we sit close to one another. Okay, folks, this pretty much wraps it up. So I want to thank you for watching, and Larry, I want to really tell you how much I appreciate you being here today, so I get to introduce you to these people.
Yes.
So far, they've just heard about you.
Yes, well, thank you, Raymond. It's quite an honor.
Now, if you got one of these things, why, use it, send us an email, and let us know what you did with it, because we think we got something here that'll work, and we think it'll work for a lot of folks out there. So, really appreciate you joining us today. We're at my old cabin back up here in the mountains, in the mountains of Virginia here. So, we'll be back to see you again one of these days.
There's many a man who would change the whole land if he could just find the right way. There's many a girl who's in search of life's pearl, struggles the whole livelong day. But the water is flowing, the wind is a-blowing, the earth she is gentle and kind. The time isn't near and there's no need for fear, the answer is inside your mind. Change it, rearrange it, the future is yours, can't you see? The gifts that are offered are just part of your reality. Just broaden your distant horizons and we'll all be free. Just do what you do and you'll get what you get. That's one of life's lessons I've learned. If you keep courting pain and you play with the fire, that's one easy way to get burned. But the water is flowing, the wind is a-blowing. We can change this old world for the good. We can stop all the crying, the suffering and dying, if we all just do as we should. Change it, rearrange it, the future is yours, can't you see? The gifts that are offered are just part of your reality. Just broaden your distant horizons and we'll all be free. Just broaden your distant horizons and we'll all be free.